What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's Aleksi here. So in this video I want to talk about um, the illusion of this world and the reality of this world. And the thing is, we have a lot of disasters happening and everything, and all of this reality we see is just a reflection of what humanity is currently. And the illusion in that is the fact that in this chaos that we see, it's all orchestrated and it's very controlled chaos. It's all part of God's management plan, and the reason all of these disasters are happening is because it's a direct reflection of humanity's current state, and everything is a reflection of and co-created basically because of us. This reality we live in is co-created because of us existing, and the reason everything is kind of, you could say, fucked up in a straight away way, gone in the wrong direction and disasters is because of corruption within humanity. And because corrupt humanity exists, we co-create this bad reality for us, which is not perfect. It's not like God intended for it to be. And that's the reason we have all this happening. God is cleansing and renewing the earth, and these disasters are happening, and humanity is falling, and falling short of God, you could say. And because of that, we have this scenario now where it's the last days and God is showing us the truth so we could change and we could co-create a new reality with God. And because of this, we have reached a point now where God isn't like playing around with us. It's like God is giving us a chance of salvation and changing, because God is only taking to his new kingdom those people who are uncorrupted and have changed. He does not want people that are evil and co-create an evil reality and destroy this earth, and nature and the way God made things, and resist and fight against God and the natural laws that are in place, that are meant for our good and everything. And the only way we can understand how this world is meant to be and how we're meant to be with God, and understand that we're God's created beings, is to understand the truth, because through the truth we come to understand God and everything that the truth includes, including the secrets of this world and how God created it for us and how he perfectly created it for us. And we've been breaking that natural order that God made, and we're resisting those things that God orchestrates. And we're doing science and trying to figure everything out when the answer really is God. And that's why humanity can never feel its heart and that void, is because they're looking for it in science, and they can never feel that lack because they're lacking God. That's why they feel empty and dark. It's because they don't have any spiritual growth in their life. They don't read the Bible. In this case, I would suggest the Bible in the description. But they don't read God's words, and they don't spend time with God at all. People just busy about in the world and try to figure out the world, but there's nothing to figure out because it's all God, and it's all in God's truth. That will explain everything you need to know about life and this world, and why it's in chaos, and why we find ourselves in the situation we find ourselves in. And those who are being spiritually awakened and understand the veil has been lifted obviously understand this. But those who don't yet, then this video can be kind of an awakening to you, that understand why. If you really take a close look at the world with your brain and consciousness, and really look and understand, okay, you see all the disasters happening, you see what God is doing on earth, and the earth is changing, and there's a lot of wars and chaos. It's a direct reflection of us. It's not because the world is somehow wrong, it's because we are wrong as humanity, and that is directly the reflection. And that's why we need to come to the light, and you need to come to the light and understand the truth and God, so you can change. And that's the only way you'll survive through this change, is if you turn to the light. Because we cannot live in darkness. The darkness is not meant to be on earth. It's not the way we're meant to live. It's not the way it was in the beginning with Adam and Eve. And it certainly shouldn't be like this. And God has been working a long time on this objective of changing earth, and it's taken a long time, and humanity has become more and more corrupt. And we're at a kind of a last point, you could say, a little bit of a waiting moment before it all collapses in a sense. But yeah, I hope this kind of helps you get the illusion of this world off and understand that there's order in the chaos, and the world is currently in a state where there's obviously no peace and everything's in chaos, but it's very ordered chaos. It's not for no reason, it's always divine at play. And you don't have to worry about the chaos so much, but what you need to worry about is understanding the truth and God and seeking that. Because if you keep your eyes on God, you cannot fall, and if you keep seeking God, you cannot fall. You only fall into the water if you start looking at the chaos and the world going around you, busying about only. Then you start feeling unpeaceful and you wonder what the external things matter, and oh my God, it's so much chaos, because you're wondering about that and focusing on that instead of focusing on God. So if there's always a way, God bless. Thank you for watching. One in the description, donation description. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you understand why this world is in chaos currently.